Good afternoon, Houston. This is attorney Anthony Push from the Push & Win Law Firm, wishing you all a safe drive home. But in the event you do get involved in an accident, you know who to call. 833-PUSH-WIN. We push, you win.
Action!
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Rise and shine.
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
What up, guys? This is The Weeknd.
It's Ariana Grande.
Hi, I'm Ed Sheeran. This is Lizzo. What's up, guys? It's us, the Jonas Brothers.
And you're listening to the Roula and Ryan Show on the biggest radio station in Texas.
104.1 KRBE.
It's time for the Roula Ryan round table round, going round the table, round, the table.
All right, let's pull up a chair and sit at the table.
All right, welcome to Houston. If you're new to Houston, hi. We're the Roula and Ryan Show. Thanks for passing along
Someone did text that
through the
like,
neighborhood.
Like I'm new, and I don't know who's talking, so maybe we should have to say that more often.
Hello, Roula.
We're so used to saying,
Hi, I'm AI Ryan.
I'm Sam. No, I'm Ahmad.
I'm producer Panther, trying to make it stick. Never works. Eric.
I am the world's biggest idiot.
Who is that?
Hi, I'm Special K. I have buttons too.
Yeah, you have buttons too. A lot of times when we're talking, I'm very aware of the newbies that might be passing through on the station. So if somebody says something, I try to address you by your name because I know it can get confusing. Like we just did a game called If You Know, You Know. And the question was, which Jennifer does Special K like the most? He chose Lopez. And somebody texted, I thought Eric always liked Jennifer Love Hewitt. No, that's Special K we're talking about.
Maybe they didn't understand how the game worked, that we picked one person.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But good on you for remembering that. Jennifer Love Hewitt was the girl.
Whatever happened to her? What's she doing
She's
now?
on that
911.
911 show.
Yeah,
she is.
911. She plays
On
the
Fox?
operator. Yeah.
On Fox with Connie Britton.
Yes.
Who
but
she
I
seems
think-
to be on every show.
I love Connie Britton.
I mean, she's
Anything
everywhere.
she's in.
Friday
Anything
Night
she's
Lights,
in.
Nashville, 911. I feel like she should make a guest starring role on Yellowstone.
American
Horror Story. She killed it.
She's everywhere. She's everywhere. Anyway, okay, so Houston is a very easy to live in city. I know the heat's hard, but you don't have to scrape heat off in the wintertime. You're not buried under the heat.
Yeah.
You just have to get a fan and an AC and you're good. A lot of people like to come here because of the location. We have a port. We have international hubs for airlines. Oil and gas, obviously. And the cost of living here is less than any other major U.S. city, but not anymore. Detroit has now beat us for cost
Who cares?
of living.
Who would want to live there? It's horrible.
They're saying it's a big city, has good cost of living. But you know why this has happened? Because everybody bailed out and they're trying to get people to come back.
Have a glass of water and see how quickly you die.
But you're close to Canada, right? You can go up there.
Yeah.
I did meet a guy once when I was in Toronto who lived in Detroit and needed a passport to go to work in Toronto.
Really?
He lived in Detroit, but his job was in Toronto.
Like, I hated Detroit so much at a time when I was unemployed and got offered a job in Detroit. They rolled out the red carpet. They really wanted me to take this job. And I was like, I can't do it. This place is a hellhole. I can't live here. It is frozen. It was like New Jersey without the charm.
Well,
I've never been there.
To be there for 5 minutes, you can't really.
Oh, no, I was there for 2 days, and I was like,
still, if somebody came to Houston for 2 days
Like
and
right
then
now,
for
the
20
heat?
years went on about what a crap hole Houston is, I'd probably hate them for life because I'd be like, you didn't give it a chance. You don't know how great our city is.
I just don't like the cold.
And that's another thing in radio and television. A lot of times, that was when I first started in radio. That's what they say. They go, you gotta be aware of cities that are hard to live in the wintertime if you get interviewed in the spring.
What is it like?
Because in the spring, it's awesome.
For
You
you,
don't realize how
Roula,
cold.
you moved from Houston, your whole life living here, to Philly,
Yes.
where it gets cold.
Yes.
Like, because I grew up in Chicago, and I came down to Houston, where it's hot. So is it harder, in your opinion? What do you think?
I was terrified.
Like, I think it's better to grow up in the cold, and you're used to it your whole life, and then you come down here.
I thought, because Roula, you're always like, oh, it's so nice and cool and crisp outside. I love it.
You don't love it when it's gray.
No, I was very excited to know that snow was going to be my future. It was great. But the problem is I had just purchased an SUV that was not four-wheel drive.
Oopsies.
And the apartment that I lived in had a bit of an incline.
As does most there.
If you're not used to driving on ice.
Well, you don't have four-wheel drive. You can't.
No.
And I was trying to go up, and they say, you cannot hit the gas if you're trying to get up a hill that's icy because it's not going to do anything. And then it started going backwards. I was like, I had to get out of the car and go to the office of the apartment complex and say, my car is over there. I don't know how to get it into the parking lot. But overall, I think it was good. I mean, I liked it. It was good for the 3-year stint. I still have real pictures that you printed out at the photo place of my car that looked like it had been dipped in water like a popsicle and frozen.
Yeah.
When I came out of the station.
Oh
What I didn't know the
gosh.
first time is when it snowed through the weekend, I was thinking, okay, good, I'm not going to go anywhere. I don't know how to drive here. But I did not know the rules. You have to come out and scrape your car off so it doesn't turn into a glacier. And then on that Monday morning when I tried to go to work, I was in the parking lot for 45 minutes trying to get through the glacier iceberg on my windshield.
Did you even have a scraper?
I had the tiniest thing.
Back
and
then,
then
it
I
was
called the
just
station.
you'd use the CD case.
And I called them and I
Absolutely.
said, somebody has to come pick me up or something. I mean, I don't know. I've been out here for 45 minutes in the dark trying to get this ice off my windshield. But to answer your question, I did not find it that hard of a transition once I had those little mishaps. And then I was glad to be back to the heat.
Yeah, I like the heat.
I
still
think it's
appreciate
easier
the
to come
snow.
from the north down to the south.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I didn't live in snow long enough to hate it so much. Like,
I've
I know,
never
Eric,
seen
you're
that
like,
snow.
Especially as a kid.
that
Wow.
snow.
Snow is awesome as a kid.
Yeah.
Once you're out of high school, it sucks because the real world, you got to go to college, you got to go to work.
And you're the one that has
You
to
got to move
shovel
the
it.
snow, and then
Yeah.
it turns into slush and dirt.
Parents probably hate it. Kids. we loved
I don't
it.
know. I had to shovel the dang driveway when I was a kid. They put us to work. But you would turn it into fun because if you flip the right shovel around, you can use it as a sled.
Oh,
Yeah, those
well,
big,
that's fun.
big giant scoop ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
big scoop, you flip it around and then you hold on to the handle
Yep.
and you ride it down backwards.
I got a video of my dad trying that and broke the handle. The wood handle.
Oh,
You look like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation going down the hill.
With that disc.
Yeah, right. Spotlight on Special K from Eric. Throwing
yeah.
shade or light? I don't know. Let's see.
I'm going to applaud Kevin because he's big on recycling here. We've known you since 2006, and you've always been, hey, give me the papers, guys.
You're earth friendly.
Take your
I don't know-
plastic
I don't know
container
if
from
they
the
do it. If
blueberries
they-
home.
Do they take those containers here and recycle? I don't
Put it in
know.
a trash burner.
no, you know what? Houston has come a long way, and we have a new plant that sorts and recycles all of that stuff, allegedly.
That's pretty cool. Allegedly.
Now, how are you somehow more eco-friendly?
yeah,
Eric?
what do you
Because I saw this stat today. Americans, we use 36.5 billion rolls of toilet paper each year. And if we just switch to bidets, which I've been saying forever, if I was president, I would outlaw toilets. Everyone should have bidets.
You mean
We
toilet
would-
paper?
Well, no, just regular toilets.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh,
without-
right. Oh,
Yeah.
I see what
Most
you mean.
people can't
Okay.
afford
a bidet
We'd
toilet.
be saving 15 million trees a year.
Wow. What about the water? And you're using
You're
that?
using extra
Yeah.
water to clean your bottom since you didn't.
Yeah,
use paper.
we got a water shortage.
The water just gets recycled.
Your clean butt is like costing us fresh drinking
Well,
water.
So you're telling
Eric's
me,
right.
Eric, you don't use any
is.
paper at all. This
You don't
is
even
like
use
too much
paper to dab?
information.
No, you still do, but you have to use much at all. But the one I have has a blower on it. It can air dry your butt.
I thought your
I don't
butler
use that.
did
It's
it.
weird.
I'm intrigued though. I've never used.
I
the
went on
bidet.
Amazon just now. You can get one from anywhere from $69 to $300. You can go on Amazon and buy it.
And-
It doesn't have to be the whole
No.
toilet. You can buy that.
I'll
little
tell you,
attachment.
yeah, it's an attachment. It's really easy to do, but you have to have a fairly basic common toilet because
Yes.
it does not fit all toilets.
Right.
Right.
And like the one I have, you have like a plug-in in the back because you have to plug the toilet in.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
like, you
because
know,
that's the
when I
thing.
walk
With
up
new
Now,
houses
does it-
being
does it
built,
have
they need
settings?
plugs in
Yeah.
the water closet room.
I was wondering, does it
Next to
have
the
settings
toilet.
for like different sizes?
Yeah,
What if you got a really big ass?
No, I mean, it doesn't go with your butt size. It's like a toilet seat. One
Yeah,
size.
it's just actually, so a lot of them you take off the toilet seat that was there before and you
Right.
put this
Yeah.
special one on there. Just y'all make sure you clean it. Make sure you clean it up. You know, every week.
But mine
Just
has-
splatter
Is the water
stuff.
cold or hot?
It's
Well,
warm.
you can do both.
You
His,
can,
well,
you can
his,
control the temperature.
I control the
on
temperature.
his, you can control the temperature.
and the
but-
strength of the power of the.
Yeah, that's true. But mine connects to the actual water that goes into the toilet, and that's just coming off the
So
cold.
you're just spraying toilet water right up on your
no,
butt.
it's coming
Well, it's
coming
water.
out of the wall, and it splits.
Oh.
Half of
Right.
it goes up into the
Okay.
tank, and the other half
It's like
goes
a shower.
through
I
the
mean, you shower. That's
the
Okay.
hose.
So the other thing too about this, if
And
you
you're
buy the
cleaner, you're not-
$60 one, you're getting basic. I found one that was like $120, I think, and the seat is warm and it has different pressure control and it has different temperatures of the water.
Space City Saver, they're on Groupon.
Come on, Ryan. Once you try, even Rula's husband.
Oh
he
man, I
was
got
on
it for
vacation
Father's Day
somewhere.
for him last year.
No, we were in Vegas last year.
in Vegas last year at this time.
The hotel we were at had bidets in the rooms.
Every hotel room had
I'm
the
not
warm
sticking
toilet.
another
Ooh.
dime into my
What
house.
hotel
Are you
was
kidding
that?
me?
It was what did we say? Oh, we
Resorts
said
World.
Resorts World.
Oh, of course.
Every room
Yeah.
had a warm toilet seat.
That's the new
and it
fancy
throws
one.
you
right?
off because you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
expect it. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah, who was on here?
Who was
Like,
on
why
this?
is the toilet seat hot?
Somebody really had a lung growler in here.
Yeah, the seats are. Yeah, they have It's great up
A
north.
heating
too.
element.
When it's cold out. Oh, I highly recommend if you're gonna move to a new house or something, spend the money and get one of these toilets.
And builders need to start making bathrooms with plugs in there.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to want to buy these toilets and there's nowhere to plug it in. You got to do extension cords.
Japanese, man, they're ahead of the game. Tokyo. That's my goal. I want to go to Tokyo.
I want to go so bad. You know, that's my dream
The
vacation.
technology, it's like,
Let me
I
tell
feel
you
like
what-
you're going into the future.
Exactly.
One thing I learned about Japanese culture, my sister, who's a flight attendant, her first international trips were always to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, what's amazing about flying to Japan is the plane is almost cleaner when we land than when we took off. Because the Japanese people really pick up after each other.
Yes.
So she's, you've seen some flights where looks like a bomb went off in there of popcorn and crumbs and crackles and all the things. And she said every time they'd land, so clean.
That's awesome.
Because everyone picks up after each other. Nice. Coming up next, guys, we haven't done this in a while. We're going to try this for the summertime and see what you got. Believe it or not, we've let it rest for a bit, since the school year ended, but let's hear your unbelievable but true stories.
Can you 8 o'clockers bring it? 713-390-KRBE. That's 713-390-5723.
It's the kind of story where you tell somebody it happened and they're like, no way, you're making that up. You're like, no, it really happened. Believe it or not. Next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
I dropped a shoe.
We did it too.
Goo.
It is Believe It or Not here on the Roula and Ryan Show, where you call us at 713-390-KRBE and you tell us a story that sounds unbelievable, but it's true. When you tell people, they're like, no, get out, I can't.
They push you.
That did
Get
not
out of
happen.
here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right, Benny is up first. Let's hear Benny's story. Good morning, Benny.
Good morning. How you doing?
Hello.
Wonderful.
Feeling fine. It's Friday.
Halfway done.
Bring it
I
with your
heard that.
story. Yeah, bring it with your story.
Okay, here it goes. Back in 2000, I had one of those famous crotch rockets, the motorcycles, the very fast ones.
Yep.
And I was in college back then, and I was doing about 120 in the freeway.
Ooh.
Stupid me.
Oh, gosh.
And yes, sir. And about 2 in the morning with some friends of mine, and that's about the last thing I remember. I was on the freeway. I woke up a month later. I was in a coma, expected to die. The doctor said my parents, prepare for the worst. The worst. He's going to pass away the first 3 days. And I was in a coma. I was on life support. Had pneumonia. Had 4 broken ribs, a punctured lung, collapsed lung, internal bleeding. My left collarbone was broken. My left knee shattered.
Good
I mean,
God.
I had
What did you
everything
hit?
was wrong with me.
Yeah, do you know how the accident, what exactly
I
happened?
have no recollection. My friends were in front of me, and I was behind them. And next thing you know, I was just out of it, gone.
You said you were out for
I
a
was just out.
month. Did you have
A month.
any dreams, or just
A
when
month.
you woke up, it felt like you were riding on your bike? Next thing you know, you woke up and they said, "Oh, you've been out for a month."
It felt like a night, actually. I had no idea I was asleep for a month. But if you don't believe it, let me tell you right now, if you don't believe in God, you better start believing. My grandpa was at MD Anderson on life support. I was at Ben Top on life support. Both of us on life support. He went to coma because he had throat cancer. He was in a coma 2 weeks. I was in a coma a month. And when they turned the life support off on him, I woke up like 3 minutes later. My hospital called my dad to come back and told him something happened to me. I was wide awake. I saw my grandpa. I saw the other side. I saw people. Just trust me. And
Wait, hold on. I lost you there. You said when they cut off your grandfather's life support, that's when you woke
Yes,
up from
ma'am.
your coma.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
when
3
you
minutes
woke up,
later.
you saw your grandfather?
No,
Or
I saw my grandpa. I saw my grandpa when I was in a coma, and he told me do not follow
Did,
him.
he,
to go
did your
down the way."
grandfather...
Oh, he
Wait,
said,
hold on. What did he tell you, Benny?
He told me because I wanted to come with him. I had no idea where it was at, and I was trying to call out to him to wait for me so I could follow him. And he told me no. He was going to the left, and I was going to the right. He put him behind me, and he pointed to the left his way. He's going that way. Don't follow him. And those people behind him, the shadows walking. I saw this all. I remember like it was last night.
Wow.
And people were walking behind him. The movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
That's the
with
best,
the light.
Analogy I can bring yesterday. The people behind him, the white shadows. He was walking with them, and when he pointed that way, he took one step to go that way. When I turned around, I saw my dad, his son, waiting, sleeping in the hospital chair, waiting for me to wake up.
Gives me chills.
Did your
forget.
grandfather
Wow.
pass away?
Oh.
Yeah, and he passed away.
At that
And
time,
my
you took off life support.
yes, sir.
Wow.
And the neurologist from Baylor came to Ben Taub and said I'll be a vegetable the rest of my life if I lived. And they ran a CAT scan on my brain. And turns out I got my bachelor's degree, master's degree. The doctors can't explain it. I'm telling you, God is real.
Oh, my gosh,
is
Benny,
real.
what a
Yep.
story. So you were in college. For
Thank
those
you.
just tuning in, Benny was in college on a very fast motorcycle, and he already said yes foolishly. He was going like 120 miles an hour at 2 o'clock in the morning on
Yep.
the freeway.
Which we hear
And
those
then
all the time. I hear
all the
those
time.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing he
Exactly.
knows, it's been a month, and he woke up from a coma.
Benny, did you ever
Yeah.
ride a motorcycle again?
Actually, after I learned to walk, talk, read, write, everything all over like a baby, all over again. Relearned 1 + 1, 2 + 2. I got my driver's license, relearned to drive my car. Then I got my license to drive the bike, and I rode it for like a month, and I sold it. I said, that's not worth it. My life is not worth the machine, a bike. So I just went ahead.
You went through all that trouble to relearn all your motor skills? Why the heck would you get on a bike again for?
What kind of bill did you see at the hospital bill, like at the end, 30 days?
Oh, well,
just for that part alone.
You better have insurance.
It'd probably be in the millions.
You better have insurance, trust me, because there was no way I could be paying that much. I'll be paying for the rest of my life. Yeah. It was like $1,000 a night just for the bed there.
Whoa.
Okay, so here's another question I want to ask you, Benny, because for those just tuning in, Benny told us he was in a coma for a month. And you hear about these scenarios all the time, like if you don't have like any paperwork that says what happens to you. At what point, like now that you're alive, well, living a great life, did you ever have a conversation with your parents or your dad and say, well, how much longer are you going to give me? Because a month is a long time.
Yeah.
Because doctors might be telling your dad, listen, it's been 30 days. He could be like this for 5 more years. Do you want to just pull the... That's what people go into wars in the courtroom over, pulling the plug. So what was your parents' strategy on that?
Well, they asked my parents to turn life support off me like twice. One to my mom, one to my sister, and they fought against it. They just said no, and they kept me on there. And I don't know what happened, but I don't know the outcome of that. How long they would have kept me on life support, but they tried to get them to turn it off. I guess
so
I have no idea why.
They suggested to turn it off, but your parents said no, and they don't have an answer to how long they would have kept you on.
And you couldn't hear them. Like you always hear people say, talk to them, whether in their moment. But you could.
Yeah, I would like twitch. They said I would twitch like my hands and grab my hands when I was singing to me, they were speaking to me. But I don't remember.
But to you, it felt like you just fell asleep overnight and woke up a month later.
So you still don't know what happened, though? I Roula asked you earlier about the wreck that no one told you. Like
no police report tells you what happened.
Well, the police report. Another weird thing. The lady found me in the middle of the street. Said that I was in the middle, and she tried to scoot me over to the side to move me out of the way of traffic. If any cars came by, she would run over me, and she ran to her car to get her phone because she tried to move me and I was too heavy, and she went back to her car to get her phone. When she turned back around, I was by the HOV lane. She don't know how I got there.
Wow.
So weird, so weird.
You are truly blessed that you came out of this unscathed because, I mean, just this morning, there was a motorcyclist killed on 59 heading towards the spur.
Wrong way, drunk driver.
A driver was intoxicated and hit him wrong way and took this man's life.
So, Benny, how old were you when the wreck happened, and how old are you now? Like, how many years are we talking now?
I think, I'm 48 now. My birthday was Monday. 48 now, and it happened, thank you. It happened when I was in college, so in my 20s.
Wow.
Man, that is a miracle story. Yeah. Do you tell people your story? You tell like your kids like, oh, whatever, Uncle Benny, it's okay. We're gonna get on this motorcycle. You're like, oh, kids.
What about the people that say, I don't want to wear a helmet? What do you have to say to them?
Exactly. When I see them at gas stations on bikes, I said, bikes are beautiful, they're fun. Just put your helmet on. That's the only thing that saved me. And I cracked the helmet. I was going so fast. The neurologist said that I cracked the helmet, tore the nerves at the bottom of the brain, and there's no surgery on nerves. I'll be vest for the rest of my life. And look at me now.
Look at you now, Benny.
Look at that,
I'm so glad you're with us.
Believe it or not, / look at me now.
You got both
story with
segments
Benny.
in there.
That is amazing, Benny. What a story.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it with us, and we're glad you're here.
It's a good message,
Thank
too.
you. I appreciate it.
Make your days count, Benny. You're here for a reason. Make them count.
Trust me, I do. Thank you, man. I appreciate
it. Honey,
you have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.
That's all I need to hear.
I know. I feel like I'm exhausted.
I'm tapped out.
That was a lot.
Make you think twice about riding a motorcycle, huh?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like
on
Houston
freeways?
But the ones that are going like
dangerous.
Tonight, you'll hear it around 10:30, between 10:30
I think it's fun to go racing 150 miles an hour.
Cops say they just can't stop because they go so fast. It's like,
no, they can't catch them.
What scares the crap out of me is when they come flying up on you, say on I-10, and then zip past and in between you.
Oh, they weave.
And God forbid, Kevin, if you get scared and you don't see it and you jerk to the left to hit one, you're like,
that's
you've
it.
ended a life.
Manslaughter.
Even though it wasn't your fault.
But how do you live with
it will haunt you your whole life.
Yeah, and let me tell you, on Father's Day weekend, we drove to Galveston for the day, and there was a motorcycle in front of us on 45 South. And, it was not that busy when we were going. It was not like bumper-to-bumper traffic. It was a good pace. But the guy on the bike, no helmet, was going like in his own lane. He just couldn't ride straight. He was kind of doing like a little weevil wobble.
Oh, he was swinging a little bit?
He was going side to side in the lane. Like he was kind of going like in a little swirl. Like I'm thinking, what is your point, dude? You are around giant trucks pulling boats that don't see you. What are you doing?
Or when you're in traffic, like Kevin was saying, you're just stuck and then they just go in between
Zoom
you.
right
Yeah.
by
Two
you.
cars.
You know, we used to work with a guy, and I know you guys remember him, Tim. Tim used to be an EMT, and he got into radio. And because of his EMT days, he was that guardian angel person that was there to help when this horrible wreck happened. I think in Montgomery County, it was a motorcycle crash. But even as an EMT, when he was telling us about it, he was like, oh, God, it's going to take me a while to get that one out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because he witnessed the motorcycle crash in front of him in the traffic, like the flip over and the road rash and all the...
Yeah.
all the.
That's
all
why they
the.
wear leathers, because you
Well,
fall down on a bike
the
and
ones
tear
that
your
know
skin
right,
off.
Ryan, wear the leather. How many people have you seen
I don't
wearing like a
understand.
T-shirt that's flying up their
Right,
back
exactly.
on I-10? And I don't
Girl with
understand.
the bikini on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
The
chilling.
second
in the
you
back.
fall, that's
Again,
it.
like we said when we opened the show, because of that terrible wreck that shut down the freeway, it's one thing if you live out in the sticks and you're zippity doo-dah to the Piggly Wiggly.
Even that's dangerous when you got, like where I grew up, you hit a deer, you're dead.
Yes, you're dead. But listen, in my experience, like little Vespas in the small little town my parents are from in Greece, that's how people travel. You get a little Vespa, you zippity doo dah over to the hardware store, and you come back. Nobody's wearing a helmet. Everyone's on their little Vespas, and it's fine. It's not a lot of traffic. But we're talking about a very tiny town where you have a lot of space. I don't understand living in Houston, Texas, especially if you have any responsibility, kids or family to take care of.
Somebody
You're
loves
like,
you.
Let me get up on this. No helmet. Look at my T-shirt. I'm just like, oh, God.
Just be smart.
I was just looking down on Richmond from in Grimmett Plaza area, and last week there's like 20 people on four-wheelers and motorcycles, and they were popping wheelies and driving down, like doing the.
You can drive a four-wheeler?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen
Not
it.
on the freeway.
Yeah,
they're
I've
on
seen it.
They're on Richmond.
Oh, I was going to say, you can't take like
15
an
of them going
ATV out
down.
on a
They were
freeway.
like going down Richmond towards Galleria area. And I could see them from my place. I looked down, I could see him just like one guy he puts the weight back and pushes it up, so he's driving it. And the motorcycles. I'm like, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm even kind of nervous about those slingshots. You know, the three-wheeled things? I see those going down the freeway hauling ass.
I want one of those. I'm not even going to lie. It looks like a Batmobile.
You can rent them in Galveston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not much, but I know you can rent them. I see them all the time.
Well, y'all go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT. That's 8368 on your phone if you'd like to share with us more about an unbelievable but true story. Coming up next, Jennifer Lopez has made a lot of money doing movies, music, all the things, clothes. But there's a movie that a lot of people know her for that she's not too proud of, and there's going to be a sequel.
Which one do we guess? There's so many.
I know. Let's find out what it is next in Scoop on the Roula and Ryan Show.
It's KRBE. Turn it up with more of the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, Rolla, you were saying something about Jennifer Lawrence?
No, Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez
my friend.
has done so many movies. I do remember it was 20 years ago. She made history when she had the number one song in the country and she had the number one movie in the country the same weekend. It was when she did Wedding Planner. And that was a big deal because, that cemented her star power. So she's done lots of movies. She's done lots of music. She's done lots of things. And some people forget that some of her early movies, she didn't look like the Jennifer Lopez we see now. In Anaconda with Ice Cube.
Oh yeah,
Jennifer Lopez was in that, y'all.
Owen
I
Wilson was in
love
it.
that movie.
She
did
was
that
in
come
that.
out?
Anaconda. Wasn't
That's
it like
in the
in
early
97 or something? Or
Yeah.
98?
I lived in Illinois back then.
Let's see.
In 98, I think.
Well, Anaconda.
1997.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anaconda's getting a reboot, y'all. And it says Jennifer Lopez is allegedly going to star in the reboot of Anaconda. And who else is in talks to be in it? Paul Rudd, Pedro Pascal, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I'm
Anaconda
glad to see Nicholas is
reboot.
starting to get his career back instead of these straight-to-cable movies.
But I don't feel like I don't throw shade on Nicolas Cage because
he's
he
done a
put
lot
his
of crappy
heart
movies.
in a lot of film to get that debt,
Right.
cut down.
Like he said, he goes, whatever I did, I put my whole heart, my work ethic into it. Like, they might not have been the best scripts,
No, they weren't.
but at least he took a chance.
Right.
He didn't just phone
He
it
kept
in.
working.
What's his excuse now? That last one didn't do too
Renfield.
What was the last one?
The vampire
Yeah,
one.
Renfield.
Yeah.
Renfield.
That made no noise.
I mean, I don't think he's got people. It's not Con Air time anymore. People aren't going to go
No, he's
see
not
it.
an A-lister anymore.
no.
He's an Academy Award winner. He's constantly working. His name is constantly out there because he's constantly
Wait.
working.
Nicolas Cage won an Oscar?
Oh, yeah.
Leaving
for
Las
Leaving Las
Vegas.
Vegas. He
Oh,
played
okay.
You ever saw that one?
No, I haven't.
That's
Elizabeth Shue was in
depressing.
it also.
Put that in your queue.
Never saw it either. Okay, other news. An update to yesterday's story, or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday's story. Kevin Costner's wife, who is divorcing him, Yesterday's story, she wants like nearly $300,000 a month in child support on top of him paying for all the kids' things. They're going back and forth with these crazy numbers. Well, now the story is that she apparently wants him to pay $150,000 for a forensic accountant to review their finances.
That's smart.
She and her lawyer claim they have got few details about the 15 businesses that Kevin owns. And since they've been married for so long, she gets a split of those.
That confuses me because she had signed a prenup. They had all this determined ahead of time. So
yeah, but we don't know what's in the prenup.
And how long were they married for?
We didn't see their prenup just because we know the one exists.
I don't know what a prenup.
We don't know what's
every
in it.
prenup's different, I guess.
Everybody makes different, stipulations in their prenups. If they had kids before they got married, if they will have kids while in this marriage, blah blah blah. I don't know any story where they've shown pages and pages of the actual prenup people can read through. That has not been revealed. But that story's still going on. Another thing I want to share with you guys is that Overstock.com is going to buy Bed Bath & Beyond.
Overstock.com?
Yes, for $21.5 million. But does that mean we're going to have stores that say Overstock?
Will there be brick and mortar stores still left, though?
That's what I'm wondering.
It all depends. Does Bed Bath & Beyond own those properties? Like, McDonald's, we learned from that movie that they
it's all about
their real
property,
estate.
the real estate, yeah.
Or do they just lease those buildings?
I got to think that they're leasing them out because I know the one that is on I-10 near Gessner, right between West Belt and Gessner, it says store closing, going out of business. And the property will just be vacant, I would imagine.
Did you go inside? Is everything 60% off?
I went there a while back and it was wiped out. Like when they first announced that they're going out of business, there was almost nothing left there.
Oh, no. I went to the one next to Taste of Texas.
Yeah, I went in there and I was looking for.
I went there 2 weeks ago.
Looking for bedding, and there's no bedding.
You know what they did? They bring in. Apparently, this is a thing. When a store is going out of business, this is what the clerk told me. They have a company that comes in and fills the store with their products. So Bed Bath & Beyond right now is selling stuff that you would not normally find at Bed Bath & Beyond. But when I went in 2 weeks ago, I was pretty shocked at how full that store was. Because, y'all, before they announced the bankruptcy, I needed to buy a new ironing board. And I could not, and I got the last one at the time at Bed Bath & Beyond because the lady goes, well, we're barely getting any inventory. So the fact that you found one, I don't know if we're ever going to get any more. When I went in 2 weeks ago, they had 20 ironing boards. They had so many ironing boards. I go, wow, that's weird. And they're selling like socks for girls. They don't usually sell like 8-year-old kids socks.
I just figure about the people that work there. Be like, I gotta go find a new job.
Yeah.
I'm not screw this
sucks.
place. I'm not gonna stay till the end.
Or at least I'm taking lunch.
Well, they may have no choice. They need that paycheck.
That's what I'm saying. I'd go find because you want to find a job. Obviously, it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy that the manager that works at Bed Bath & Beyond was there that day when I was talking about like, wow, I was in here and y'all didn't have any ironing boards. Now you have a lot. He was like, oh yeah, we're getting all these things. That's how I learned about the third party thing. And that guy said that he's been there for a long time and he's the one that had. I think there's a story in the news about this because I connected the dots with that one. There was these guys just pulled right up, loaded the carts full of the KitchenAid mixers that are $400 a pop, and just rolled them on out and loaded their car and drove off.
Stole them.
Yeah, just blatantly stole everything. So you wonder why these stores are going out of business because they're not allowed to stop people, or it's not worth it to stop people. Or there's some policy.
I think the main reason they're going out of business is because of Amazon.
I feel like the future of that is going to be like when you go to like a store and they have everything locked up.
Yeah,
like you can try to get razors, or you try and get
You just ask
It's already
somebody
like
to
that at the
unlock
grocery store.
Yeah, so I could see that being the future of like Targets of the world and stuff, or like what's the place with the perfumes and the
Sephora,
Ulta. I can see that stuff all locked up.
Well, isn't it Walmart? Don't you have to take like the tag of what you actually want and take it to the clerk, and they have to give you the product?
Costco, they do
for like
that.
a TV.
Like Costco, when you grab that, not
Yeah.
the TV, but you grab
Something
stuff.
for like if you want like an Apple Watch.
Yeah, you have to
you
go.
give them the tag for the Apple Watch, and then they have to go to the closet, unlock it, and give it to you. But I mean, look, you know how they say everything old is new again? In 10 years, is it going to be like the resurgent of the retail store where everyone's like, oh my God, I can actually walk in there and go in there and get it now?
Like, I actually went into a Best Buy recently, and I was like, wow, this place is freaking huge. They could probably do this with like 1/3 the space. Like, there's just not.
I feel like they still fill that up. They fill it.
It used to be all like CDs and
CDs and movies and all sorts of things.
But now it's phones and it's gadgets, it's tablets, it's
social media
TVs,
stuff.
it's lots of
Drones.
appliances. Oh yeah, drones are
even
in there.
toothbrushes.
Oh yeah, the
Electric.
Yeah.
Electric
Supersonics, or whatever it's called.
Washers and dryers. And
So I guess we'll see what happens there with that. But yeah,
I hope they don't get rid of this stuff. I hope they do.
Here we go. Time for the Roula and Ryan show on KRBE to tell you what's going down. in H-Town.
It is brought to you by Duncan. I'm hosting something that's a really great cause. It's for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's going to be a really fun show. It's called the Fashion Fitness Swim Show, and it's the summer kickoff event. And it showcases trends in fashion, fitness, and swim. There's going to be a lot of gorgeous models and people running, doing the runway and all that. So it's actually going to be at the Decorative Center of Houston. That's 5120 Woodway. VIP opens at 7 p.m. General admission at 8 p.m. And like I said, the annual event is dedicated to bringing awareness to a cause that affects millions. Once again, it all benefits. This is a great foundation, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So come on out. Houston's most beautiful, multicultural, and diverse models are going to be there. They're going to have complimentary cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, photo booths. If you want to learn more, go to fashionfitness.com. And, of course, the Rockets kept their number 4 pick in Thursday's NBA draft, selected 20-year-old guard Amen Thompson, who actually has a twin brother, and he was the 5th pick. Isn't that crazy?
We have a lot of youngsters, man. If these guys turn out the way we're hoping, in 2-3 years, they could be like the Golden State Warriors.
You've been saying that for a while about the Rockets. You said that this is a rebuild, that they're really going to be something.
Well, doesn't every franchise go through this? Whether it's football or baseball, you have a rebuild.
Some don't.
Years.
Some don't want to.
They want to keep the dynasty going.
They want to keep, even if they don't win the championship, at least they're in the playoffs and they're making money. But the Rockets are like, you know what? We don't want to be 6th place, 8th place. We want to either be top 3.
They're building
Let's
it to last.
Tear it down and start over.
What about James Harden? Any buzz on that still?
They have $60 million to spend this year at cap space, so they can get some guys that have played instead of rookies. We can get some veterans and stuff.
Yeah,
there's a few people. Hopefully not James Harden.
You really don't want him coming back.
No.
Is that just a bruised ego?
No, it's like, why would you want somebody
It's like a girlfriend that cheats on you.
Cheated on love, said we weren't good enough for them. They went somewhere else, found out, well, it's not too good here. I'll go to this other person.
Grass wasn't greener.
I'll come back. Screw you.
Hey, by the way, somebody just texted
Once he comes back, then I'll be like, oh, yay.
Yay.
Well,
You'll be the first one to buy a shirt.
I've lost my train of thought with you guys because I'm on the text screen at 37530. Somebody said, put on Good Morning America. There was a live proposal with one of your listeners. Remember the lady who called in and said she decorated the whole house for Valentine's Day with different parts of the country, of different countries, and she was a flight attendant?
Yeah.
Apparently that lady just got engaged on
I saw the text and I tried
GMA.
to turn it on, but I guess we missed it.
Because Adam Lambert's singing right now.
Yeah.
If you turn on ABC 13. But maybe I don't know, are we behind?
No, I think we missed
we're not behind. Because that texter sent it.
No, that's on GMA. We're watching Today's Show.
No, this is GMA now.
Today is behind roll, and GMA is on the other side. We have multiple screens in here.
They're both doing Pride Fest right now.
Which, by the way, Houston's 45th annual Pride Parade this weekend is going to be a blast. This year's festivities do not include the daytime festival. However, the parade starts at 7 p.m., and that's Saturday at Houston City Hall. It'll be led by 7 Grand Marshals. The parade is free, and it's open to all ages. There's going to be cooling buses and water. And, what's the thing that we just kept learning over and over again?
Celebrate and hydrate.
Hydrate.
And you will find Sam and I on the main stage off of Smith Street. We will be hosting and emceeing the entire parade, all 700 floats.
Yes. And we have one. KRB has one. I'll be on it.
Awesome! Yes.
Do we know what number it is? Are they like 200 something?
They haven't sent out the email yet, so we just know that we line up on Allen Parkway and get ready to be called in.
Kevin's gonna be like those announcers for basketball when they announce the other teams.
And
here they are.
There's a competing radio station.
Competing radio station.
There's these little tools on this float.
There's KRBE! No! KRBE!
Kevin, you must be a professional and be happy for everyone because they're all there
But be the happiest for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
put a little
now,
more pep in your step.
Damn straight.
coming up, I do have a special Pride mix for you guys that includes...
Pride mix, yay!
Sam Smith is doing a cover of I Feel Love. Also, Padam Padam is the biggest song
Kylie.
in the gay clubs right now. Kylie Minogue. I'll put on Cyndi Lauper's True Colors. And that's in your Friday Free For All.
I can't wait. Next on The Roula and Ryan Show.